Let's pet some giraffes here at the Living Desert.
The Living Desert Zoo and Gardens has been around for over 50 years. It is currently actively engaged in over 80 projects around the world with focuses on things such as conservation efforts, local habitat restoration, and on-site initiatives. There are roughly 600 animals in their care along with 1,200 different plant species. The animals represented throughout the zoo and gardens include species from North America, Africa, and Australia. Zoo hours change depending on the season. We went the last day in January, so between October 1st and May 31st, they operate daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with last admission at 4 p.m. However, during the summer months, so from June 1st through September 30th, it is open daily from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. If you're familiar with SoCal, specifically Palm Springs and the Palm Desert area, it gets very, very hot during the summer months, so they do close early out of consideration for both the animals and visitors to the zoo and gardens. Zoo admission works on a reservation system. Adult tickets range from $39.95 to $41.95. Child tickets range from $29.95 to $31.95, and children under 3 are allowed to attend for free. Now, reservations to visit the zoo and gardens are done in hourly time blocks, so you can go on the website, select the time frame you wish to visit, and you need to make sure you're there within that time period. If you're coming from nearby, it's great to get your ticket ahead of time and just make sure you arrive within that time block to enjoy the museum, zoo, and gardens. However, if you're traveling far, I highly recommend doing what we did, which is leaving early so that you arrive early during the zoo's opening hours and then purchasing your tickets. This is recommended because if you miss your hourly window, you will have to purchase another ticket, which can effectively double the rates you paid if you missed your time slot. Now, the grounds themselves are absolutely gorgeous. It truly feels like you are transported onto a safari where you get to see absolutely beautiful animals in their habitats, living their lives up close and personal. I have been obsessed with giraffes since I was a little girl. Anytime there was an art project or research project that had to do with animals and we got to choose, I always selected giraffes. So my goal during this visit was to partake in their giraffe feeding. There are numerous different things you can do while visiting, so giraffe feeding is just one of many different experiences. There's also a rhino encounter and again, other things you can enjoy. So for the giraffe feeding, you do go to a designated area where there is an additional fee for the feeding. It is very affordable at only $10 per person, and if you have a membership, it is $8 per person. Now, because we went relatively early, it was just about an hour after the zoo opened, the wait for the giraffe feeding was only 10 minutes, and once we got to the front of the line, we were shown where to stand, and Kelly the giraffe came right on over where I got to feed him lovely, delicious pieces of lettuce. While we were waiting online, however, we did hear people who were members mention how most of the time, the later it gets in the day, the longer the wait gets. So just from our experience and the conversations we had with others, I highly recommend getting there as soon as possible so you're not spending your entire visit waiting online to feed the giraffes. The path we took to visit the zoo and gardens meant staying mostly to the right of the designated course. So that means we got to experience the giraffe feeding pretty early on during our visit, which was great. Afterward, we were able to spend the rest of the day taking our time to going and enjoy all of the different other animal exhibits. We saw everything from camels to gazelles, wolves, even a cheetah, and so many more. And again, just to reiterate, the vistas here are absolutely stunning. Even if an animal wasn't present, just standing and looking out over some of the landscape and scenery was so incredibly therapeutic and very, very peaceful. There are plenty of maps and signage throughout the area to help guide you along and to also teach you about the different animals in the various exhibits. However, there are also incredibly knowledgeable and super sweet staff members on site that can answer any questions you may have and guide you along your way.
Whether you're planning a solo trip or coming with family and friends, the Living Desert is absolutely gorgeous, and there are so many exhibits and areas where you can take a look at animals from Australia and Africa.
So again, this is a wonderful excursion to take part in if you're in SoCal. It was a 2-hour and 10-minute drive without traffic from Los Angeles to the facility, so I highly recommend leaving early. As we wrapped up our day at the zoo, we did notice a wonderful model railroad setup that was so incredibly cool. They had different major cities from SoCal featured along this railroad track. So it was a great way to kind of wind down our stay, pointing out the areas we recognized such as Solvang and Palm Springs before making our way out of the park. If you do plan on spending a nice amount of time there, there is an on-site cafe and a gift shop. I highly recommend visiting both, as we did on our way out.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.